There's a new survey that shows the rise of the Delta variant has increased now the concern among people who plan to travel by air.
Yeah, that survey was commissioned by the Points Guy, which is a travel website. Nearly 2,400 adults, either fully vaccinated or unvaccinated against COVID, were asked questions about their travel plans.
WATE 6 on your side consumer reporter Don Dare now has results of that survey.
Well, Lori, overall, the survey shows vaccinated adults feel a lot less comfortable when around large groups of people. While the survey asked questions specifically at travel, various outdoor and indoor entertainment activities are beginning to worry people as well. Regardless, air travel. Regarding it, just a few days ago, the European Union decided to remove the U.S. from its safe list of countries for non-essential travel due to the concern of the fast-spreading Delta variant. Pictures like these, doctors and nurses dealing with a new surge of patients diagnosed with the COVID-19 Delta variant. Those pictures are having an effect on families and individuals who are planning to travel by air.
We're finding that potential travelers are definitely feeling anxiety about flying and in some cases even traveling to a different city or town. So people are less comfortable than they were prior to the emergence of the Delta variant.
A new survey shows nearly half, 49% of vaccinated travelers feel less comfortable flying domestically than they did prior to the Delta variant outbreak, versus 26% of unvaccinated travelers, according to a new survey by the Points Guy.
Pretty much across the board, people who have been fully vaccinated are more likely to feel less comfortable than unvaccinated people, who are more likely to say that they felt less change in terms of their level of comfortability.
Why is that, do you think?
We are seeing a rise in new restrictions with the recent announcement from the EU that they were recommending additional restrictions for American travelers. You know, there is a lot of uncertainty again with travel, and I think a lot of people are responding to that with a new level of discomfort. That's what we've seen throughout the pandemic, and I think some of those feelings are coming back.
What about domestic travel versus international travel?
Yeah, there's definitely more comfort with domestic travel. And again, part of that is people aren't worried about getting stranded abroad. They're not necessarily concerned that their trips are going to be canceled outright. They're not going to be able to get into their destination. So that's one of the reasons we're still seeing people gravitate toward road trips, destination trips to national and state parks. These kinds of experiences provide more comfort for people.
This survey shows 51% of millennial travelers, those ages 25 to 40, they are more likely than other generations to feel comfortable taking a domestic flight. And that's in sharp contrast to only 29% of baby boomers. These pictures of travelers at airports are becoming all too familiar. Delays and flight changes that are often the result of fewer available workers due to the pandemic.
And these staffing shortages are affecting so many aspects of the travel industry. It's one of the reasons we're really encouraging travelers to manage their expectations.
Now, over the long Labor Day weekend that's coming up, if you are booking a trip by air, it is really important for you to do your research. Think carefully about scheduling a flexible travel plan that can be rebooked if necessary. You know, we all feel comfortable knowing that our travel is protected. So make sure you read the fine print of knowing when you can cancel that trip in order to get your money back. Some important things to know. Bo?
Definitely great advice there, Don. Hey, if you have a consumer question for Don, send him an email at ddare@wat.com. And as always, you can call us 6 on your side hotline number at 865-633-5974.